Ночью Израиль и Иран продолжили обмениваться ударами.
Overnight, Israel and Iran continued to exchange strikes. There are rocket falls, in particular in Tel Aviv, Rishon LeZion, Ramat Gan. This is all the center of the country. At the moment, it is known that in Israel, 4 people were killed, about 70 injured. Yesterday, the home front reported that the mass shelling will last up to 72 hours, so we are basically on hold. Sirens can go off at any moment. In case of a siren, we go down to the bomb shelter. There are bomb shelters inside apartments in new buildings, so people don't even have to leave their homes. They just set up bomb shelters in their bedrooms and stay there. And in the case of older houses, we go down to the bomb shelter, meaning we don't sit in the bomb shelter all day. Basically, people are walking the streets, more or less living their lives. Tehran at this point has announced that it is preparing to launch another 2,000 rockets at Israel. But as far as we know, some of the rocket installations on the territory Iran is being attacked by Israel, that is, prevented from firing the rockets. So it appears that they're launching far less than of what they're putting out.
Layli, thank you. And this is a question I would like to ask. In general, is there panic and agitation among the population in connection with this situation? Last night on live TV, you said that the country is generally calm, people are going to work and shopping. Has the situation changed between yesterday evening and this morning?
Well, look, there were a lot of people in the market. Why? It was also before Shabbat. There's always a lot of people on the Friday before Shabbat. There's always a rush because the stores are closed on Saturday. That is, in principle, a normal, quite regular situation that on Friday morning there are many people in the store. And about the fact that there was panic, I will say, rather, on the contrary, why? People, I think, may be more encouraged than panicked, because for the first time in the last 25 years, maybe the Iranian nuclear threat will no longer be a nuclear threat. So I think people are rather even more encouraged by this situation than they are panicked. I think it's more the other way around.
Thank you, Layli. How does this happen anyway, when the siren sounds? Tell me, what's the process?
Depending on the city that people live in, there's a certain number of seconds that are given to evacuate, and in Tel Aviv, it's a minute and a half, so it's 90 seconds. By the way, there's also a new 10-minute warning system. So we get messages from the rear guard. We have a rear guard app that gives us 10 minutes advance warning of missile launches. 10 minutes in advance of missile launches. And as I told you yesterday on the live broadcast, from Iran to Israel, the arrival time of a ballistic missile is 12 minutes. So we get 10 minutes notice, and it's quite possible to go down to a bomb shelter in 10 minutes. I, for example, live on the second floor, which means getting to the bomb shelter is, for me, maybe 30, 40 seconds. There are rules of rear guard service. So if people follow the rules of the rear guard service, if they don't ignore them, then, in principle, the chance is minimal.
Layli, are there those in the population who want to leave the country?
There must be some. Among my acquaintances and relatives, I don't know of any. When the events of October 7th, 2023, the Hamas attack, there were, I think, a lot more people then, because it was really an unprecedented situation, an unprecedented attack. Now, I think people are rather encouraged that there will be no more nuclear threat from Iran, Akram, and rather, probably the opposite, have started to see the future of this country.
Thank you, Layli. We reported earlier that a UAV strike collapsed a multi-story building. Can you tell us more about that?
We can't publish. We can't take pictures. So the home front asks not to put up any damage on the streets and so forth in order not to transmit geolocation, thereby not to help Iran in subsequent attacks. So the streets are not being published exactly. I mean, I won't even tell you right now, being here in Tel Aviv, I won't tell you exactly the street where, literally just about where this happened. Yes, there were rocket hits, there were casualties, 4 people dead, but there's not a lot of information really.
Информации не очень много на самом деле.